Hi guys, so I'm going to be taking you along with me during finals week. So I started out on the train going to school, I like to read my book, and then I was just studying for a couple hours with my friend at the library, and I believe that in this clip I ended up falling asleep. So then I knew it was time to do something different because falling asleep is never a good thing. So as you can see, at some point my hand stops moving and that's when I fell asleep. So then I decided to get up and put my laptop between two bookshelves and just stand there and study for a couple hours. Some more, and after the sunset, me and my friend decided to go to the gym. But yeah, I'm just going through all the modules. I think I was studying for pathophysiology or pharmacology, one of the two. So I was just going through the questions and there were a couple duplicates, so I was just marking them. So here I am at the gym and I'm doing the ab leg raises, and some guy comes right over to where I'm at, and of course he wants to do an exercise that would require him to lift his head up to just where my feet are. So I was trying so hard not to hit him on the head. You can see I'm struggling a little bit. And at some point I just gave up and I was like, yeah, I'm not able to do this exercise freely, so let's just go. So then me and my friends leave and I end up having a gyro craving, so that's what I got, actually from the deli. And that was a present that I got for my clinical instructor. And that's about it. I got a lot of studying done that day. But when I went home, I had to study some more. So these are chapters that I had to study for pharmacology that night. So I just tried to fall asleep for an hour, and I just remembered that I had the biggest cup of coffee. And even though my heart is not really beating out of my chest, I am not going to be going back to sleep. So I'm going to have to just get up and get some work done and go to bed extra early tomorrow because it looks like the sleep is not coming in right now. So the next morning, I went to the library first to print some papers, and then I went to the city, and I was really craving Apollo bagels, and they have really good bagels. Like, I just don't know what it is, but the way that they put olive oil and crack some salt and pepper on top is just so delicious. If you've never tried it before, you have to, and you might know what I mean, because it was really popular back in the hospital where I used to work, and they no longer have an employee discount, unfortunately, which they had for the hospital workers. And then I was craving a cheesecake, so that's what I ended up getting. And then I wanted to treat myself some more, so I went to the Jellycat store, and if you don't know what Jellycats are, they're like cartoon characters and they make them so cute. So I ended up getting the ruler, but I also couldn't pick which one I wanted for a really long time, so I was wandering the entire store. And I also saw Calico Critters, which I love, which are these cute little animals. And yeah, that made me so happy and it motivated me to study because I was rewarding myself with that. Then I went to Zara to pick up some clothes that I had ordered. And I tried on this hat, and that's the order that I picked up. And then I was craving dumplings, and of course that's more motivation for me to study. So then I went back home, and of course this is the mess that I had left from clinicals. And then I finished my clinical work, and then I had to study for classes, and I had to work with all of this. And then I was craving some pasta, so I ended up getting some lobster pasta. And then I was really motivated to study, and I was studying for hours and hours, of course with breaks in between, but I was studying for foundations at the time, which was the first final that we had to take. And so as you can see, I'm going through the slides and I'm just taking notes, and I'm going back to fill things in and kind of organizing the information. And also at the end, I went back to the book and I was doing practice problems and rereading information from the book that maybe I missed from the slides, or because foundation is such a heavy course, there's just a lot of condensed information in the book, which is useful to go back to. So I had a final, but of course I had to spoil myself first with some Shake Shack.
How did you guys do on the test? First final over.
So after our last final, our school spoiled us with some hot chocolate and candy canes. I love them for that. And then they also threw a party for us where they had food, bowling, other games. And yeah, that was fun. I went with my friends, and I'm so glad the semester is over. And I can totally wait for the next one. Thanks for watching. See you guys next time.